The Fuqua School of Business and/or Duke University in no way endorse this video. The Fuqua School of Business at Duke University is located in Durham, North Carolina, and is one of the youngest of the top business schools, having been established in 1969. In its short history, the school has established a solid reputation as a top MBA program. In the most recent rankings, the U.S. News & World Report placed Fuqua at number 12 nationally. Business Week placed it at number 8, while the Wall Street Journal placed it at number 13. Internationally, both The Economist and Financial Times placed it at number 14. Fuqua is set adjacent to the primary Duke campus, across the street from much of the sports facilities, and next door to the law school. It is a modern facility set into the woods of North Carolina and boasts wireless internet access and big open areas. The school has just over 800 full-time MBA students. Fuqua is a well-rounded program with strengths in marketing, finance, operations, technology, and general management. The school acknowledges that classroom space is cramped and that the library is outdated, and plans are in place to address these concerns. The surrounding area of Raleigh-Durham is naturally beautiful and houses 6 universities, making for a lively social environment. Let's meet some students.
My name is John. I've been at Fuqua now for about 2 terms. And background, I went to Drake University in Des Moines, Iowa, which, if anybody's heard of it, great, small school. So after that, I went into the investment banking world for about 3 years, did mergers and acquisition work, and then left to go work for Northwest Airlines and did work on their bankruptcy and contingency planning. So I had great experience doing that. I thought business school was a great segue into rounding out my experiences going forward.
Hi, my name is Kelly Weidman. I'm a second year here at the Fuqua School of Business at Duke University. And before school, I worked as a consultant for a couple of years and then also worked for a major CPG company.
I'm Konstantin Wolf. I'm a second year student here at the Fuqua School. I'm originally from Germany, but worked in England before coming to school.
My name is Friedrich Rockleader, former naval officer, first year student. I guess the reason why I decided to come here to Duke is simply because of the sense of community that I feel being a part of this institution.
Hi, my name is Raja Gupta. Prior to coming to Fuqua, I lived in Atlanta for 4 years. I was a consultant down in Atlanta. Before moving to Atlanta, I went to the University of North Carolina for undergrad. So there's a little bit of a rivalry there, but it's still fun to be a Dookie now. I'm concentrating in marketing and consulting again right now for the 2 years that I'm here at Fuqua, and I'm currently a first year.
Why did you choose Fuqua?
Chose Fuqua for a lot of reasons. Collegial environment, great people, and great program, great reputation.
Came back to school because I really want to focus on marketing in the future in the apparel or retail industries. And Fuqua is a great marketing school as well as a great general management program. There's also a great atmosphere here at Fuqua. The people are amazing and we've got a lot of energy on campus.
I chose to come here to Duke because of the lovely campus as well as the phenomenal team spirit you see among the students and faculty.
I would definitely say it's the community. For me, I want to become a finance guru. And surprisingly, this is one of those hidden gems in terms of finance universities out there. Most people believe that you've got to go to a bigger school in order to gain the same access to some of the great banks and firms out there. I've actually had very positive response from a lot of the recruiting firms that I've met so far.
Why do you want an MBA? What do you plan to do with your degree?
I plan on returning to investment banking after completing the MBA program.
I'd like to get into consulting afterwards. Eventually, 10 years down the road, I'd like to start my own business. So I see consulting really as a stepping stone to something bigger and better for myself.
Do you need a car to go to school here?
I would strongly advise getting a car to live in Durham, that's right.
You probably do need a car to go to school here. There are some shuttles and you can live close by, but I think it's more convenient if you have a car.
I guess the only disadvantage, if you're used to being in a major metropolitan area, would be you need a car.
Are there many international students at Fuqua?
I would say there's a significant portion of international students. Normally it tends to be around or above 30% of the student body.
Do you feel the administration is responsive to the needs of international students?
Yes, I think there is quite a bit of support from both the faculty, the career management office, as well as the other students. There's quite a bit of cooperation from existing students and alumni to help international students ease into life here at Fuqua and the Duke community, both social as well as sort of career-oriented and academic activities.
What are the facilities like?
Oh, the facilities are relatively new. Some of the parts of the adjacent building were only finished 3 or 4 years ago. So the whole complex is quite new, and I understand there are expansion plans on the way right now, actually.
How do you find the faculty?
The faculty have been very open. We have class sizes of about 65. So the faculty are definitely very approachable. For my core marketing class, my professor was Dean Bolding, who is the dean of the daytime program here. So in very introductory classes, you get access to very senior level faculty.
You have an outstanding faculty here, some well-respected researchers and just great teachers, both in the first year, the sort of core curriculum, as well as the elective courses.
How are the classes broken down?
The school's broken down into 2 classes, first years and second years, approximately 400 to 425 students. They're broken into a total of 6 sections in each year group. The sections themselves are around 50 to 80 students or ranges. Great thing about that is you really get a sense of smaller communities within a greater community. You get to know everyone here. Since there are only about 800 students overall in the first years and second years, gives you a better opportunity to do a better job networking, as well as just getting to know more people.
Can you describe the workload?
I would say the workload is quite challenging. It's a very rigorous program. Both the academic aspects as well as the sort of career search is demanding. And I would say that the first year is significantly more challenging than the second year, when job search is mostly over, for most students it's over, and academically you tend to focus more on your areas of interest.
The workload the first year is basically all core classes. So that's set out with your basic marketing, finance, accounting to really give you a good foundation to build from. And then the second year is fully electives. So I'm enjoying getting to pick all of my classes this semester, including some very specific marketing classes. We've got a great marketing faculty here at Fuqua, so you can really focus on the areas that you'd like to focus on, but you can also get a breadth of experience if you choose to go that direction.
It's pretty tough. I mean, just managing your time is the tough thing. So I wouldn't say anything is very difficult. You know, we can all handle it. It's just getting everything done in time and scheduling lots of things.
Can you study in other parts of the university?
The wonderful thing about attending Fuqua is you're allowed to open yourself up and get to know other aspects of the greater university. You can take classes not only here at the greater Duke University, but also at UNC.
Would you say that business ethics are a focus?
Yeah, business ethics are definitely a focus. One of the most popular classes at Fuqua is the business ethics class. It fills up a lot, and they actually had just a new section because there's so much demand for it.
What are the advantages and disadvantages of going to school in a rural setting?
One of the things that really drew me to Fuqua over some of the other schools was the community atmosphere here. If you haven't already heard about it, you'll probably hear about Team Fuqua. It's one of the overriding principles that happen at the school, and it's something that is you just don't get that kind of experience with that kind of team atmosphere at any other schools. I looked at a bunch of other schools, and the team atmosphere here was something that really drove me to Fuqua.
I guess just cost of living. It's cheaper to live down here. Stay focused. You know, in a bigger city, you're a lot more distractions. So you don't have that down here.
The best thing about going to school in Durham is that everyone is really excited about the school events. There aren't a lot of competing events from the greater metropolitan area that you'd have in, say, a New York or an LA kind of area. But that really adds to the events that go on here, and the school, Duke as well as Fuqua, puts on social events, academic events, cultural events. We have a great international food festival that happens here. Typically over 1,000 people come for that. So there are all kinds of things that happen that I don't know if they would happen in larger cities.
Having lived in a big city before coming here, I think it's actually a welcome change for me. You don't have the big city, some of the amenities available there. However, you tend to bond more with the other students from the school, and North Carolina is just wonderful.
Some of the things that I love about Durham are that it's got a lot, with the colleges around Chapel Hill, Duke, and NC State and Raleigh, you have a lot of the amenities that a student would like to have. You've got great sports teams, you've got a lot of culture in terms of theater, museums, concerts definitely come to the area because of all the students. But then again, at the same time, you get that small community feel that you wouldn't get necessarily in a large city like Atlanta, New York, or Chicago. Everybody's really friendly, and of course the weather's great in Durham.
Can you tell us about Wednesdays?
Wednesdays are our day off from classes, but on Wednesdays there's a lot of things going on that are extracurriculars. Today we had a conference by the Black and Latino MBA organization where we were talking about social responsibility and diversity in the workplace. So that's what I'm here for. And it's a great conference. We had a keynote speaker who was the vice president of Johnson & Johnson come down and speak to us today about some of the issues surrounding diversity and social responsibility of corporations. So those are some of the kind of things that go on Wednesdays on our day off, and it really gives you an opportunity to come to school and get more than just a classroom learning.
What areas of study would you consider strengths at Fuqua?
Fuqua has been known as a marketing school, so the majority of students are here for either marketing or one of the special programs that we have, which is called HSM, which is the Health Sector Management Program. There are less students that are interested in banking or finance, approximately 80 to 90 students in general, but that really works to my advantage or the advantage of other students that are in finance because there's less of a competition. We're on the same caliber as Wharton, Stanford, in terms of the eyes of the recruiters, but we're still getting the same inflow without the same level of competition.
Okay, what about?
Shh, don't tell anyone.
North Carolina is a beautiful state. Have you had time to explore it?
You don't during the course of the school year, but it's when you have vacation time, it gives you the opportunity to really get to know the state.
Can you describe your fellow students?
In terms of like all the students that I've met, they're a great reflection of not only myself in terms of their caliber, but I think it's people you want to go out to a bar with and hang out with. That's the best way of describing it.
I would say students here are generally very, very high quality. They all have high sort of scores coming in here. But I think once they actually arrive, very, very down to earth and team-orientated people, many of whom you become very good friends with.
Oh, they're great. I mean, get along with them well, and they all work really hard, and just a lot of fun to hang out with. So,
what is the social scene like at Fuqua?
I think it's a balance. If you're really active and you want to be a part of this community, you can have a great social life, especially networking with other students as well as the greater business schools, the greater schools within the Duke University campus itself. But you can tailor it to yourself because you don't feel pressure that you have to go out, but you can go out as much as you want or as little as you want. So there is that flexibility.
Don't get me wrong, business school is definitely tough and you're working a lot and you're working all the time. But one of the good things about Fuqua is that you're always working in teams, and in that team atmosphere you're making a lot of friends and you're making social contacts as well as business contacts. And in terms of just blowing off steam after class, there's plenty of stuff to do. You can go over to Chapel Hill, 9th Street in Durham. You've got plenty of time to do that on the weekends, and we don't have any classes on Wednesday, so Tuesday night's their big night to go out as well.
I think people go to a lot of the on-campus parties. However, there's a lot of activity in the sort of RTP area, and especially in Durham and Chapel Hill. I think there must be more than 50,000 students just in the immediate area between UNC and Duke. So there's parties going on and sort of social activities going on almost every day.
Are the collegiate sports big at the business school?
Absolutely, yeah. If you're into basketball, this is the place you should come. But all the other teams and the other sports are also great.
I was a huge sports fan before I came here. I'm from Dallas, Texas, so very sports-oriented area, and have camped out the last couple of years to get basketball tickets and won both years. So I'll be going to the North Carolina game this year again. So it's been a great time.
What kind of person might not be happy here?
I can't think of one actually.
You do need to be able to multitask and work on kind of multiple things at once. I think that's the beauty of business school. So if you're just going to be too specialized, that that may not work out as well in business school versus more technical programs, I would say.
Let me go back and talk about Team Fuqua again. It's very team-oriented and it's a very collaborative environment. So the type of person that I think would not be happy at Duke is somebody who is ultra-aggressive or ultra-competitive. And don't get me wrong, the people that come to Fuqua are definitely competitive and they definitely want to get ahead in their professional lives and excel at whatever business they're in. But at the same time, Fuqua definitely has a focus on community building and teamwork. And so if you don't like to work in teams or you don't want to work in teams, then I don't think Fuqua would be the right place for you.
As a person that's not willing to adapt and be a part of a team, if you're very much an individual, not willing to get to know or willing to get to know other people, you shouldn't come here.
How is recruiting at Fuqua? Do smaller firms tend to shy away because it's more distant from the bigger cities?
Recruiters definitely make the trip out here. I think particularly in the marketing area, we have just a breadth of companies that come out. I worked at Nike this past summer, so recruiters definitely do come to Fuqua. They're willing to make the trip because they've seen that the product that they get in the graduates is worth making a trip down here.
Yeah, I think there's a really large universe of companies that recruit here from sort of all different industries, financial services, healthcare, retail, you name it, they're here. Of course, the larger companies tend to have a bigger presence here on campus. However, increasingly you see smaller firms also take an active interest in recruiting MBAs here at Duke.
What advice do you have for the prospective MBA students who are watching this video?
For applying to programs in general, I would say that just to really get it down to the schools that you're interested in going to. It's a big process to go through. There's a lot of essays to write, and it's not really worth going through at a school that you just know you're not going to end up going to.
If you are applying to Fuqua in particular, I would definitely play up your team strengths or your teamwork, your teamwork experiences. Those are some of the things that are really key and some of the things that Fuqua is really looking for. Also, I think MBA programs in general want to recruit a diverse set of people to their programs. So any kind of diverse experiences that you have, anything that sets you apart from the other people that are also applying would be a great thing to play up in your applications.
Take the time to understand what you're looking for in an MBA program and try and find the best fit.
Visit, see what it's like. You know, everybody says the same thing on paper, but until you see it, that's what you want to know.
The one sort of most important piece of advice I would give is to visit the schools before actually taking up an offer, because that's the only way you'll know whether you like it here.
Okay.
And that way you can also see how wonderful the Duke campus is.
I think that the best thing to do is to go and visit schools. You really get a sense for their personality, and I think personality is one of the best things about Fuqua, so to get a sense, I would really come visit.
Did you make the right choice?
I think I did, yes.
I definitely made the right decision. I wish I could stay for more than the 2 years.
I think one of the things that really sets Fuqua apart from other schools is the culture here, and I don't think I'm doing it proper justice just by talking about it. I don't think anybody can. I think it's something that you really have to come to the school and experience for yourself. I mean, you have everything from a world-class college basketball team to a world-class rivalry just 8 miles down the road. Not to mention you're in the presence of some of the best faculty, some of the brightest minds, both undergraduate and graduate here at Duke University, and it's just something that you just can't get a good feeling for by reading a brochure or listening to somebody talk about it. You have to come to the school, you have to experience it, and I think that's something that's very key to the whole Fuqua experience.